Fish fam, what is going on? Today I'm coming to you with some shout outs of some of the smaller channels that are amongst us in the fish fam, and some that are actually growing quite well. And I thought today on my lunch hour I would share some of the channels that I've been watching. These are 10 that have some great content, very personable, very funny at points, just down-to-earth people, I guess you could say. Some of the channels that I'm about to shout out are on the cusp of breaking 100 subscribers. So I got thinking this morning that it might be fish fam friendly to kind of spotlight these channels and get them over the 100 subscriber mark. And I think they're well deserving. There are a few mixed in here that are over the 100 mark, and they're definitely up and coming. So my shout outs are as followed. LJ Aquatics, as of yesterday, she was at 97. I did post up one of her videos on the Fishfam Facebook page, and when I checked earlier today watching one of her videos, she was up to 98. She's definitely got MTS, which shows in the video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. This is LJ Aquatics. I really think that we're going to see a lot more of her with her channel and the content that she's putting out. Very funny, very warm, very personable. So check out LJ Aquatics. Dub-Rexy21, another great channel with some hopping content. I would definitely check him out. Check them out. Fishy the Fish. HC Aqua. One of my favorites. Sub up. Love is love, brother. E-Money Cichlids. With that being said, I've been watching a lot of E-Money's local fish store tours, his tanks. I was actually fortunate enough last night after work going on my local fish page on Facebook, and a guy was getting rid of all of his stuff. Don't know why. I bought a tank from him before, and I managed to score a 75-gallon tank with stand and filter. Awesome score. $75. So the reason I say that is I've been watching E-Money and a lot of other folks, Dion 026, and I mentioned to a few people that hopefully here in the next year when I find a bigger place to live, that I'm going to be setting up a cichlid tank. So I've definitely been checking out his and Dion's video and a few other folks to kind of decide what direction I'm going to take the tank in. So right now I'm kind of sitting with labs and haps, maybe a peacock, maybe an ACI. Not really sure yet. I'm still doing my research. And as I've said in a lot of videos, for you new folks coming into the hobby, research, research, research. See what fish trip your trigger. Study up on them and see if the environment that you have or you plan on setting up will be conducive to keeping those fish. Because remember, we're not fish keepers, we're water keepers. If we have the ability to match the conditions that they're accustomed to, then go for it. The research just helps make that dive, no pun intended, into the hobby a fun and rewarding one, which is key. Because if it's not fun, and depending on what reasons you got into it, if it's not rewarding, it's not going to last. So, much love out to my brother E-Money, J1985, JW Aquariums, Sherry Sweeney, another one that's appeared within the fish fam, JJ Aquatics, and another funny individual, which actually got us to stream a few Saturdays or a few Sundays ago, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it was. I was in the woods and we did a live stream with Chris from Multi-Tank Addictions, Big Easy. Now, this was only going to be a 10 shout out because I plan on trying to do more, but do yourself a favor. If you have not checked out Big Easy, he is the comical fish keeper. Just if you're not laughing, you're crying, and if you're crying, you're laughing. He had me in tears during this live stream that Gene Michael had started after the fish hobby had to go rescue his roommate with a flat tire. Pretty stand-up guy there. Does videos, does live streams, very personable, very friendly, and just all out funny, just some of the stuff that he does. And he does have a serious side. He's called out a lot of different things and how he's helped people and his feelings. Not just about fish keeping, but about things in life, kind of the principles for the Fish Fam. So definitely check him out. I know I said 10. I kind of went to 11 and 12, mentioning E-Money and Dion. So I guess I'll just babble from this point. Check out Gene Michael. I noticed on one video a couple days ago, he seemed really down and depressed with the haters and winter coming and having to go indoors and trying to come up with ideas for his videos. I really think the individual needs some Fish Fam love. His videos are about everything. I mean, he is the Steve Irwin of the Fish Fam, I guess you could say. You know, he's about the fish, he's about bugs and reptiles and invertebrates and, you know, whatever comes across his mind. If he's out in the woods and sees something crawling, he'll grab it, do a live video on it. Gene, haters are going to hate. Take that as a badge of honor, because if they're hating, that means you're doing something right, brother. Jenna Tucker, I've watched her channel grow. She's got some great content. Her fish room is expanding. She's actually had some new fry. She put up videos on that. Kayla C, been putting out a lot of content. Priscilla MK, content, whether it be her awesome artwork or her fish keeping. Nisi, which is somebody I forgot to mention in a video that I did here probably a week or two ago. I remember Nisi coming into the live chats and lurking, talking, lurking, and now she is such a force within the family, making sure we all know who's live streaming, making sure we know what the schedule is, promoting channels, doing her own content. I mean, she is a very awesome lady, and we are all thankful to have her as part of our Fish Fam. It definitely, you know, we get so busy in our day-to-day, and we may forget that Bob from Steenfat's going live, or Corey from Aquarium Co-op's going live, or somebody's going live, Corvus Ocean, whoever it may be, she's right there on it. During the live stream, if somebody like Rick from the Science Geek, Mr. Science Geek, needs a link, or Bob or Corey or whoever needs a link, bang, she's got it right there in the chat. So she is a valuable asset to the Fish Fam. Susan from SLC Aquatics, the mother of the Fish Fam, my sister, because I'm probably old enough to be her brother and not her son. Prayers were sent during the tropical storm, and she fared well, thank God, and I'm glad to see you're up and okay and doing the live streams and still dropping content. Rob Hicks Aquarium, another guy that I've watched come into the family and grow, and his content and his videos and some of his tanks are amazing. You have to check them out. For the shrimpers out there, you have LR Bretts, you have Rob from Flip Aquatics, two awesome channels, a lot of knowledge right there, from fish to shrimp. And there's hundreds more, and you know, it's not until I sit down and think about the channel. I think about my subscribers. I see the subscribers on other people's channels when I watch their videos. So there's probably more out there that I'm forgetting that I watch on a daily basis. Because like I said, every morning I've got a routine. And it's, I get up in the morning, I have my coffee. I usually sit out on my balcony and watch the videos that pop up on my notification bell. And then I try to at least like them or comment on those, to show my support. And I think the Fishfam in general definitely takes care of their own. They do show support. They don't tolerate the nonsense, the trolling, so it's, as I mentioned in my other video, it is a great place to be. And, a lot of the tanks that you guys post, whether it be on the Facebook page or the videos that you do, it helps somebody within our family in some form or fashion. And as I mentioned earlier, looking at E-Money and Dion and a few other cichlid keepers out there, it's helped me zero in on the fish I want. So now I'm in the stage of seeing how their tanks are set up, seeing what their parameters are, dealing with aggressiveness, the compatibility, and the general aquascaping. So it's a help to me. I know a lot of other folks will post like puffers, and or Danny from Danny's Aquarium, another channel, just posted up his puffers and his bumblebee gobies, which ironically I have puffers and my girlfriend wants bumblebees. So seeing that, he's put them in tanks, got to see them up close, kind of watch their behaviors, helps me decide if I want to wait until my local fish store gets some and put them in my tank and see how they work out. I know a lot of times, I was reading a post on Facebook, which you've probably heard me dwell on several times, about just how nasty some folks can be on the Facebook pages. And it just happened to be here this week, somebody was talking about wanting to get pea puffers. Being I have pea puffers, I stopped and I read what was written, and some of it was, you can't put them with this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And as you saw in my video a while ago about saying that you can't do something, it's my way, it's the only way, is not a very true statement. There may be some legitimacy in the statement, but unless you try it, you can't take somebody saying you can't do it as law. Now, in my case, I started small and I watched the behaviors of my puffers in my tank. So I had 3, and as I mentioned, the third one died because it was actually dropped on the floor by the storekeeper. I was hoping it would make it. It didn't. So my local fish store got some more in, and I managed to get 1, and it was smaller than the 2. Gets along just fine with him. Actually, I think he's like the pit bull, being the small. He's more like the Chihuahua. Got all that bite or all that bark, but he's smaller than the pit bull. So he kind of will chase them and keep them in check. But I've noticed over the last several days, after he kind of came in and developed the alpha male thing, they school together. Now, mind you, I have these in there with neons. I have them in there with black coolies. I have them in there with green puffers, pygmy puffers, ghost shrimp, and something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they all get along. So let the tank run for a while. I added a second sponge filter in addition to my hang-on back to make sure I have enough biological bacteria surface area to be able to handle the bioload that I'm putting into the tank. So now they got more in, and I managed to get another pea puffer, 2 more pea puffers. So at this point, now I have 4 puffers, and out of the 4, The first one will team up and kind of school with the 3, and then it'll go back to the smaller one that it was raised in the tank with in the store, and then they'll pair up, and he goes back and forth. So, you know, there's no aggression on any of the 4, you know, other than a chase here and there if they're going down for bloodworms or something like that. So I think, you know, you have to try what you want to do. I mean, there are certain situations where it's probably not going to work. For example, you know, having a tank with an Oscar in it and putting in Danios or guppies or cardinals or neons or something like that, the high probability is those fish are going to become food. In some cases, there may be that rare instance that that Oscar is not going to bother other inhabitants, but in all likelihood and in the history, you know, they will eat anything that fits in their mouth. So I won't tell you you can't do it, but if you're going to try it, keep your eye on it, because you'll probably lose at least one fish before you realize that, hey, it's not going to work. But you get an A for effort and trying. So, like I said, that word can't, shouldn't exist. Is it probable? Yes and no, and X, Y, and Z, Y. So, I think I've rambled on enough. Folks, again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. Go show those channels some Fishfam love if you have not done so already. I think you'll find them quite enjoyable. And let's get these channels that are right there on that 100 sub doorstep. Let's open it for them and let's get them through. And let's continue to welcome the new members of the Fishfam. Every day it's at least 1 or 2, if not more. And over the last year, this Fishfam has taken off, and it's turned out, as I said, a perfect place for the fusion of all of our ideas, because there is something out there that we can use from somebody else that'll help us on the path that we want to go on, or in a direction that we want to move our water fish keeping to. So definitely check them out. Thanks for stopping by. Comment, like, and subscribe if you have not done so already. God bless. Keep those sleeves wet. Peace. Racing's Aquarium out.